Hello everybody, Alex Elliott here, PJ Golf Professional. Let's get onto the hardest holes. And what I mean by the hardest holes, let's think of your stroke index 1 holes. How many times, as we get a little bit older, as our club head speed reduces, does hybrid become our most used clubs? The longer end of our bag, the higher end of our bag becomes so influential on us performing out on the golf course. So let's make sure we get it right. Let's start off by showing you exactly what we want to do with hybrid, and then, well, what's absolutely costing you with hybrid. Welcome to today's video. So I want to really think about this right now. What is your longest iron? And I want, hopefully by the end of this video, by showing you a drill to hit these better, persuading you to possibly think about replacing some of those others. Maybe possibly a 5 hybrid, even a 4 hybrid if you're one of those golfers with a slow club head speed and brand new to the game. So no matter what level we're at, this is going to help us. So let's start off by getting into this video of exactly what we want to see. So first and foremost, can we make sure we've got a ball position that's a club head inside your left heel? Now for a lot of you right now, you might be thinking, well Alex, this thing looks like a wood. We want to feel this more sort of on the left heel. No, we've got to make sure that this ball position is a club head inside our lead heel. So for a right-handed golfer, your left heel. For a left-handed golfer, that's simply just your right heel. So that's the first priority. Can we feel that that ball position is a club head inside our left heel? Second thing in terms of setup, can we really feel as though our shoulders are fairly level? Now, our right shoulder's always going to be a little bit below our left because our right hand's a little bit lower on the golf club, but simply, let's not try and adopt a feeling like we are in this sort of setup, like hitting a high driver. Let's sort of feel as though we've got the longest iron in our bag, 7 iron, 6 iron. So that's point number 2. Now this is the golden nugget moment. We've got to have good foundations, and that's our setup. That's how we stand to the golf ball. But I want you to trust the loft and hit down and through this golf ball. So really feeling as though we're making a slight descending blow and a little bit of a divot instead of that scoopy nature to our golf shots. Now, one thing you have to do with these hybrids, you have to trust the loft. This loft is your friend. So a little bit of a lowdown of how a hybrid works. So it's a little bit of a bigger head. This allows any manufacturer to get the center of gravity lower and further back. Now, anytime they get their center of gravity lower and further back, that's going to help you get this ball up in the air. Also, with it having a little bit of wood technology, off-center hits aren't as punished as much as an iron. You start to see how using this tip, thinking about using more hybrids, can definitely benefit your game. So let's move on into the drill now, and then finally, you have to watch this, because I think, I mean this in every single one of my drills, in order to improve your golf, we have to understand what is going wrong in the first place. So let's implement what we want, and then make sure we don't fall into this killer pitfall, and the reason why you never want to do it. To set up this drill, really nice and simple, 2 alignment sticks down, 1 for your feet line, that would run parallel to your ball to target line. And the second one, I want you to place 2 club heads, 1, 2 club heads behind that golf ball, okay? This is really going to allow me to get that feeling of that descending blow on the golf ball, that bruising nature. It's going to be perfect feeling in the thicker rough. It's going to be a great way to hit it from the fairway, as opposed to if I was to try and lift this ball in the air and not trust this loft, I would catch this alignment stick. Now, how many often do these things, we hit them good or we top them? We don't want that to happen. So if you look at this close up here, and we're going to put a tennis ball in there, if I was to lean back, you can see how my bottom of the arc would start to happen before the golf ball. I would then start to work up too quickly, catching this golf ball sort of above the equator. Okay, so this is why standing here right now, making that descending blow, avoiding the alignment stick, this drill couldn't be any simpler. Accompany that with the ball position, accompany that with the setup. This drill allows you to bring each of those three factors together. That's why it's so important. Now, if you're watching this and you're a player that is also struggling with like their irons, well, I have to say, this is going to be perfect for you as well. So not only is it going to help these, it's going to help every single one of your irons. So simply set this up. If you're at the driving range, fantastic. If you're on the golf course right now and you're watching this thinking, I'm losing my mind, set this up just as I've done now. Stand there and hit it away. So I've always thought this is an interesting thing. How far do our hybrids actually go? Okay, so my hybrid's a little bit of a rocket, to be honest. It could go anywhere from like 200 to 230, and I mean, that is like absolutely perfect. But enough about me. How far is your hybrid going? Get in those comments. Now, this is the point we've all been waiting for. The pitfalls, stuff we do not want to do. Now, I've always thought this is an interesting thing. How far do our hybrids actually go? So I got my hybrid 3, 19 degrees, around about 210, 220 is how far this one goes. But enough about me. How far are all your hybrids going? So I want to see sort of a selection of what hybrids you've got and how far they're going. So what don't we want to see? Now this takes one more minute of your time and is probably the most influential part of the video, because as I said, in order to improve, we have to understand what we are currently doing wrong. So what I want to understand here is when we put a ball position too far up in our stance, we try and set these shoulders and really have that feeling of trying to launch this golf ball. We then start to bottom that arc out too early and start to hit up on the golf ball. Now that's not something we want to see at all with a hybrid. Now, on a tee peg, potentially be a little bit shallower, but we don't want to be bottoming out too early, trying to lift this up into the air, because that's going to cause us those stins, those tops and those misses. Trusting the loft, using the technology to advantage is the way we have to go. Lower, further back centre of gravity really helps us improve. Just look at these two close-ups. That concept of driving down through, or that concept of leaning back. We want to make sure we're adopting that feeling of avoiding that alignment stick. Try it with this, try it with all your irons. I really do hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please do consider hitting that subscribe button. We are so close to 100k. Thank you for your support.